Time to hear some college students answer the most important question in all of humanity. As I usually say, I am not going to talk anymore, so let us get into the video.
Good afternoon, and I'm here with
Izzy
and
Ellie.
So Izzy and Ellie, I've got one question for you both. Do white lives matter?
In no way do they matter the same context as Black Lives Matter. White Lives Matter is definitely not a movement that's anywhere near as important as Black Lives Matter, because that is a prominent thing at the minute that needs light shone to it.
I think White Lives Matter statement really takes away from the Black Lives Matter movement, and I think it just kind of sheds a light on how focused we are on how people have the focus of, if it's as soon as an issue is affecting other people, they have to bring it back to themselves and be like, but us, which has kind of shown in a lot of social issues, and I think it as a movement is just really embarrassing, and I really disagree with it.
I have one very simple question, and if people want to answer in the comment section, feel free to do so. But is there any thought that goes on in these people's heads? Because it seems to me that all of them just say the exact same things. You look at them, you analyze the way they look, and you already know the answers they're gonna come out with. It's absolutely crazy how indoctrinated these people are. And it's really funny how they all do and say the exact same things. He asked you a very simple question. Do white lives matter? I would think the answer is a very simple one. Yes, but nope. Like trained animals, they all come out with the same answers.
Amazing. So you say that it's wrong for people to say white lives matter?
Yes, it's the same way.
Especially in response to Black Lives Matter. Like saying white lives matter after that is like, that's so not the problem right now.
And it's also not the point that people are trying to make when they say Black Lives Matter, and it's really takes away from the point that the actual issue is that black people's lives are at danger, and they're the ones who are in the space of being criminalized for Black Lives Matter, and then white people saying, oh, white lives matter too. It's like, yeah, cool, irrelevant. Of course, it's no one's life matters more than anyone else's.
They've always mattered, like,
exactly.
They've always had a privilege.
White lives matter like, no one's infringing on white lives mattering because they're so placed on this pedestal of racism.
Alright, amazing. And I think another question that I'd have for that, so do you think it would be better for people saying white lives matter to instead say Black Lives Matter and support the movement?
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
And that's a social issue that needs the platform and needs spreading awareness, whereas White Lives Matter helps nobody.
These people genuinely do not have a thought going through their heads. What does saying Black Lives Matter do for anybody? These people really don't want to address the root cause of anything. Let's talk about how there's fatherless homes. Let's talk about how black people commit quite a bit of crime. Why don't you talk about that? But all these woke people want to do is just virtue signal, post a black square on Instagram, hashtag BLM, and talk about how Black Lives Matter, which doesn't do anything for anybody. I'm tired of woke people saying that I'm oppressed and I'm in danger. I haven't experienced any danger in years. I can't remember the last time I've experienced any sort of racism. And I'm sure saying Black Lives Matter wouldn't stop that from happening if it was the case that it was happening.
What does that achieve?
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. And I think maybe another side of it as well, do you think maybe rather than saying maybe white lives matter or Black lives matter, do you think it would be right to say all lives matter, or do you think that's also wrong as well?
No, I think that's wrong as well, because yes, all lives matter, but we're trying to give black people a platform, and saying all lives matter just really takes away from it, because that's not the purpose of the thing that we're trying to change.
Like, we all have equal opportunities and everything, and that's so not the case.
That's amazing. I appreciate you guys for your time. So Owen, I've got one simple question for you. Do white lives matter?
Yes, but because of everything that's been going on like recently and in the past, it's not really as, I don't want to say big an issue, because obviously they do matter, but with everything going on, especially in America and in the UK, to be fair, with like black people being oppressed, white people just haven't been oppressed in the same way, at least in recent history.
All of these college students saying that white people haven't been oppressed, especially in recent history, just goes to show you the ignorance of these college students of actual history. Like black people, white people have also faced oppression. And the fact that these people parade around saying that white people haven't faced oppression is actually sad. Social media has brainwashed these people so much, it's really unfortunate. Every race has experienced racism. Social media is just pushing all of this nonsense in you people's face so that you can continue to be divided and fight over nonsense that doesn't even exist. Racism is everywhere. Black people are not oppressed.
So it's not really as relevant.
Interesting. So when you hear White Lives Matter, what's the first thought that comes to your head?
So when I think of that, instantly I think of people that are anti-Black Lives Matter. Like in the US, when people were coming out with Black Lives Matter, everyone was saying all lives matter. And said White Lives Matter, it sort of seems the same category as that.
All right, that's interesting. That's an interesting point you make. I think as far as the statement, maybe take away the politics side of it, do you believe just kind of as a base statement that white lives do matter?
Before we get back into the video, I need everyone to turn on their post notifications so that you get notified whenever one of my videos come out. Like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. Let us get back into the video.
Yeah, if you take away the politics, yes, because every life does, like, just be treated equally.
All right, amazing. Aside from that, kind of, what do you think the implications, I think you said a couple of things, what do you think the implications of saying white lives matter in comparison to saying black lives matter is? Do you think it would be better for people to just say black lives matter rather than white lives matter?
Yeah, definitely, just because, of, like I said, white people haven't been feeling the oppression, haven't been, like, we've had it a lot easier, so there's no need for us to say white lives matter when black people have been oppressed and they've been killed and all sorts, and it's just, yeah, obviously it's more important to say black lives matter than white lives matter.
Amazing. I've got one more question. Do you think that maybe terms such as white lives matter and black lives matter, do you think they unite people more or they might divide people more? What do you think?
I think they do unite people more. It's just obviously the small few people that won't be united by it, but terms like Black Lives Matter definitely need to stay around because it's just raising awareness and it's making people have to stop and change.
Amazing. Owen, I appreciate you for your time.
I'm still trying to understand how saying Black Lives Matter is raising awareness towards anything. This is how propagandized these people are, that they just say anything that social media tells them to say, which is why I call them robots.
Josh and Danny, I've got one question for you both. Do white lives matter?
Yeah, but like, you shouldn't just say that statement because it's a bit mad. Yeah.
I've got a good answer for you. Right. They do matter. Like you know, any races, like lives do matter, not dependent on the race. But right now, if you're going around saying white lives matter, it's not the time, because white lives are not the ones under pressure. They're not the ones dealing with shit. Black lives matter because they're the people who are, like, you know, they're going through hardship right now, and so that's like, obviously all race lives matter. Like, lives shouldn't matter depending on race, but you can't focus on white lives matter right now, because right now, like, of course they matter, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's, right now, that's not what we're focusing on. That's not important compared to what is actually going on that should be getting fixed.
Amazing. So you say that. So you agree that white lives do matter, but as far as kind of a movement, you think it's the wrong time to say it?
Right now, that's not the movement. It shouldn't be having like protests and stuff like that. And like, people are saying that, like, that's not like Black Lives Matter protests. That's like, that movement is the one that is important right now.
It's really a shame that these are the thoughts of so many college students, and it's really sad that these people don't really even know what they're talking about and how white people have never been oppressed. And it's really just sad with the things that college students come up with. They don't even think for themselves and look into things for themselves. And all of these protests and things that they're fighting for have not done anything.
So there shouldn't be a movement about white lives matter?
I don't think so. I don't think right now there's no movement needed.
So why do you think that there's so much controversy behind people saying white lives matter if we're saying all lives matter?
Because it's like, the way I see it is like, they're trying to, like, obviously everyone's different who says it, but some way it can be seen as they're trying to take away from the focus of Black Lives Matter, and like saying almost as if like, but we matter too. But like, that's like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy.
Know, like
that's like
I think
Black Lives
everyone knows
Matter.
that everyone matters in it, but like,
see, Black
don't
Lives
need to
Matter
be saying
and
one
White
person
Lives
matters.
Matter. That's like they're two houses. The Black Lives Matter house, that's on fire, but the White Lives Matter house, they're chilling. But that's like saying when people are going to use the water on the Black Lives Matter house to cool down that fire, that's like the White Lives Matter house saying where's our water? We need it as well, but they don't. Because they're not on fire.
Yeah.
That's like what it's saying. Like they're
Analogy,
taking it
that
away
analogy,
from what actually needs the focus, the attention.
But yeah, anyway, that was another video, another reaction. As I usually say, if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy, and I am out.